This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Is the new Tamron 70 to 180 millimeter just as good as the Sony 70 to 200 millimeter lens? Also, is that extra 20 millimeters you get with the Sony a big deal? Let's find out. The Sony 70 to 200 2.8, the Tamron 70 to 180 2.8. This is a $2,600 lens. This is a $1,200 lens. So this is $1,400 difference here. Why would you want this lens over the Tamron? And how does it compare in performance? That's what we're gonna talk about in this video. All right, so let's compare the lenses really quickly. This lens is obviously what you would expect. A full featured lens, has image stabilization. It is built like a tank. This has internal zooming, unlike the Tamron, and it has a tripod collar for a reason. This weighs 3.26 pounds versus the Tamron that weighs 1.8 pounds. So that's a pound and a half more, and you definitely feel the difference in the weight. The Tamron actually extends, but it isn't like, it still isn't longer than the 70 to 200. The size of it closed up is almost the size of the Sony 24 to 70 2.8 lens. Also, putting it in your camera bag. This usually takes some adjusting in your bag. You have to open up a whole slot. And you can't attach it with the camera. You usually have to put this in its own slot. This one you can attach it to the camera and throw it in your bag, which is also really convenient. Now this lens doesn't have many features, does not have image stabilization, does not have all of those nice professional features of the other lens. It only has a focus ring lock. That's the only thing that it has. It does have a focus ring on the lens mount as like the Sony. So overall, this is a very plasticky lens, but that's what we come to expect from these Tamron lenses. So before we get into the image quality, I do want to address the elephant in the room. The focus accuracy. As you saw, the Sony wasn't doing as good as the Tamron. Why is that? And honestly, like, I've heard on the internet and I've talked to friends that have this lens, and there are many bad copies out there. There are copies out there that people are getting soft focus with this lens. My lens in particular has given me mixed performances. In this test, I'm focusing on Diana's eye, which is right there, and it's still back focusing. I don't know. This is the only lens I have access to, but that's not cool for a $2,600 lens to be doing. I've never dropped it, and it has performed well for me in the past, but I have noticed this issue. All right, talk about the focus speed. I tested both in good light and in bad light. Very comparable. in terms of focus speed. Now, the one that I was really worried about was focus accuracy and speed in low light. For my event photographers out there, I know this will be the deal breaker for you. And then after testing it, both of them, again, very, very comparable in performance when shooting in low light situations, which was really nice to see from a third-party lens like Tamron. Now let's go over the image quality. Having the images side by side on my computer, I couldn't tell the difference between the images. Both of them were tack sharp, almost the same sharpness. The Sony maybe went a tad, it's a tad sharper when it's in perfect focus. But overall, I found the images to look almost identical in terms of rendering. I noticed that the backgrounds of the Sony are a little bit nicer, mainly because this has 11 aperture blades. This one has 9 aperture blades. So I did notice that. One question you may be asking yourself is, are you gonna be missing out on those extra 20 millimeters from the Sony? And in my personal opinion is I wouldn't stress too much about it, because our cameras are just increasing in megapixels. Even if you have a 24 megapixel A7 III, the ability to crop in that little bit without degrading your image at all seems like it's just not a big deal. Quick funny story for you guys. After I took these shots of the lens, I forgot to bring it in the house, and this is what happened.
Oh, I left. Oh my God. I left it in the rain.
I would get a lens like this that costs so much less money, getting almost equal kind of image quality, and it's really good at autofocusing. For most people that are shooting events and do an occasional sports or whatever, I would easily be able to recommend the Tamron. Great performance for the price. This actually makes the Sony system a lot more attractive in my opinion, right? The Tamron 70-28 2.8, the Tamron 20-75, the Tamron 70-180. So we basically got the trinity of lenses in third party, and you could basically buy all three of them for a little bit more than what you could just buy one of the lenses, and that is this lens, which is like no other full frame camera or system is offering this kind of option right now in terms of professional zoom range lenses, which is, I mean, in my opinion, makes it a lot more attractive. I don't know about you. I think that is, imagine investing into the Canon RF system. You're spending like 6K off the bat. You're spending half that with Sony and these third-party lenses. It definitely, Sony has an advantage in terms of lens selection right now, 100%, and this adds to it. Tamron has been doing some things lately. I know Sigma's been doing their thing, but Tamron is definitely doing their thing with zoom lenses. They're innovating. This is a very special focal length. No one else is doing this kind of stuff, and look at the size and weight of it. Good stuff, good stuff. That about wraps up my comparison between these two lenses. And if you want to see more videos like this one, there's a whole playlist of me comparing lenses in this style. So check that out. The link will be down below to that, or you could just click the card at the end of this video. Before I go, I want to send a shout out to my sponsor for this video, and that is Squarespace. So Squarespace, if you're looking for a website, blog, or an online store, make sure to check them out. I have an online store with them. I sell some presets. I sell my retouching tutorial. It makes everything so easy to use. And I love how high quality everything looks. The templates look amazing, and they have 24/7 customer support. So if you ever have any questions, they get back to you pretty fast. If you click the link down below, you get 10% off your first purchase. I'm telling y'all, like, I've been using it for years. Like, it's legit. It's a really nice way to present your work online. And everyone needs a website, so check it out. Link will be down below. Use the coupon code Manny, and you get 10% off your first purchase. All right, see you later.